Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Hell Let Loose. This is a hardcore World War II first-person shooter with epic battles consisting of 100 players, with infantry, tanks, artillery, a dynamically shifting frontline, and a unique resource-based RTS-inspired metagame. People on Steam are saying that 80% of the time you will spend either dead, walking, or under artillery fire. You can spawn half of the time without getting insta-killed by bombs or accurate bullets, but the fact is that you don't mind. Those few moments when you kill somebody who has just spawned are precious, and you would not give them up for anything. And very positive reviews of this game ain't gonna let me lie to you. Only disadvantage here is the price. It's still quite high. Well, not as high as Snoop Dogg or Seth Rogen though. Chivalry 2. When years ago I tried the first part of the game, I liked it so much that I played it for several hours non-stop. I had great internet, so anyone with slower connection died from my swings like bleeding pigs just because of the lag in their pathetic homes. I felt like a combat god, but that only lasted until some averagely talented players with good internet speed connected to my server, and, you know, I started to die a lot. That I didn't like. I have a similar story with Chivalry 2, but somehow this part was easier for me to learn, and I had tons of fun. So here you'll try to dominate massive 64-player battlefields. Catapults tear the earth apart as you lay siege to castles, set fire to villages, and slaughter filthy peasants in the glory of team objective maps. Also, a fully featured mounted combat system will make you feel like a true knight, and that includes the ability to trample your foes, land devastating front and rear horse kicks, unhorse your opponent with a lance, and engage in a deep melee combat with grounded or mounted opponents. The game has a very positive review score left by tens of thousands of players, so I think it's safe for you to give it a try. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. This is a real-time strategy game that follows the war between humanity and Legion's synthetic intelligent machine network. And Legion is another AI that emerged after Skynet was erased from existence. You know, the franchise needed an enemy, and to be honest, new enemy is always better than...
Somehow Palpatine returned.
So in the campaign you will take the role of a commander in the Founders, a force made up of the remnants of the US military. You will guide your army in an attempt to mess a little with the Legion's plan to exterminate the last remnants of humanity. So in this near future, both in game timeline and in our real world probably as well, you will have to show that evil ChatGPT who the real boss is. And in skirmish and multiplayer modes you can choose one of three very diverse factions: Founders, Movement, and Legion itself. You will often use the battlefield to your advantage. Physics-based building demolition lets you generate a realistic set of tactical consequences, especially in urban areas. Your resources here are limited, so every obstacle can serve to your advantage. People who play the game are agreeing that this is a very focused RTS, with challenging tactical mechanics and great storyline. The downside is that Terminator Dark Fate Defiance punishes you for mistakes a bit too harshly, and it is quite buggy, but developers are constantly, at least when I wrote the short review, updating the game and fixing various stuff, so it will only get better. Here you control a crow, some kind of bird Grim Reaper. Suddenly your assigned soul is stolen, and you must track down a desperate thief to a realm untouched by death, where creatures grow far past their expiry date and overflow with greed and power. Well, this place sounds like a parliament of every country. You will have a vast array of melee weapons, various arrows and powerful magic to overcome a fantastic bunch of beasts and demigods. The land is full of twisted inhabitants and countless secrets, just like Parliament. Anyway, here you'll experience a somber yet darkly comedic tale, uncovering the secrets beyond the flow of souls, the role of the crows, and the origin of the potato salad man himself. Well, probably not the latter, I'm just kidding.
Or am I?
Warpips. This is a quick-to-learn but also very fun tower defense strategy game. You will deploy the right composition of soldiers, tanks, helicopters and planes, compose the best army, research the right tech and overwhelm your puny, pathetic enemy. Although the game may look like a multiplayer thing, it is absolutely a single-player experience made entirely for your personal pleasure. As developers say, if you buy the game, you get the game. No pay-to-win elements, no microtransactions and no pineapple in potato salad. It's a solid game with randomly generated battles that are different every time you play. People on Steam are saying that Warpips is a great relaxing game where you don't want to dive deep in some complicated story and just want to brainlessly push buttons. Hidden Deep. This is an atmospheric sci-fi action game heavily inspired by Aliens, The Thing, and even Half-Life. You will explore, climb, swim, scan, blast, and shoot your way through dangerous missions in a huge sub-oceanic mining and research facility. And you will meet many new friends here as well. They are so happy to meet you that they want to eat you. Yeah, I rhymed that on purpose. I am a poet. Look, there's more.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You spend all your money on games.
Anyway, you can play this game alone or in co-op mode with friends or your mother-in-law. But keep in mind that the game is in early access. If you buy it now and play it now, you can't legally complain about any issues and still look smart. So be careful and read the comments on Steam. You never know. So to spice up your curiosity, I will tell you that here you can kill with your thoughts. That should really grab your attention. If it grabs somewhere else, call the police. Inkulinati is an ink-based strategy game straight from medieval manuscripts where a thought can be deadlier than a sword. You will take your turn in Inkulinati duels filled with unexpected tactical depth and humor.
Yeah, fart humor, very funny, haha.
Shut up, that is always funny. You'll embark on an ever-changing journey, build your own bestiary, defeat medieval superstars and collect perks to unleash special powers. And now it's the time when you must subscribe. It's the law, I have nothing to do with that. The penalty of not subscribing to my channel is a ban from Boobhala after you die. It's terrible, I know, so I guess you have to subscribe. Untitled Goose game. Ever wanted to be an evil goose? No? Well, you should, because you can be a menace to society not only being human that you are. Here you'll make your way around town, setting up ranks, stealing hats, honking a lot, and generally ruining everyone's day. This is a nice and funny puzzle game. And also, if you ever feel alone, you can play co-op with your mother-in-law, and that's how there will be 2 evil geese. The more the merrier, right? If you love making people suffer, this game is definitely for you. Slay the Spire. More than 100,000 players are recommending this game for you, and so do I. Slay the Spire is a fuse of card games and roguelike titles. Here you can craft a unique deck, encounter bizarre creatures, and discover relics of immense power while trying to climb up the ladder. Game features a dynamic deck building, so assemble your deck wisely. Discover hundreds of cards to add to your deck with each attempt at climbing the spire. Select cards that work together to efficiently dispatch foes and reach the top. People on Steam are talking that Slay the Spire is really addictive, and yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hours played in the comment section. 200 is quite a casual number here, so another game that will keep your virginity safe and sound for a long time. Creepy Tale. This is a hand-drawn short adventure game with creepy and at the same time lovely illustrations. Here suddenly everything turns into horror and drags you into a series of terrible events. Your brother has been kidnapped and you are left face to face with an ominous forest filled with dangers and strange creatures. You will have to solve the puzzles that you meet on the way. Do not let yourself be caught and save your brother. Also find out the dark story that befell the once calm and peaceful forest, turning it into a creepy place filled with evil. And by saying evil, I don't mean pineapple on pizza or in potato salad level of evil. Nothing is that evil. People are saying that this game is charming and will suffice as a bedtime story before you sleep. It's only 2.5 hours long, in other words, short enough to keep your attention the whole time. BlackChain. This is a very nice old-fashioned StarCraft-inspired RTS that will take you only a few hours to finish. You'll be thrown to a year of 2088 where the solar system is ruled by those who can exploit it most efficiently. So I guess by someone like Elon Musk if he can detach himself from playing King of Twitter. BlackChain includes a classic campaign across the solar system with 12 unique story missions with full voice acting, base building, land and air combat, skirmish mode versus AI, also land multiplayer with 2 human players, map editor and custom games. Sadly, there is only one faction available. But hey, keep in mind that this game is made by one man and its price for a game that is made in the year of 2021 is ridiculous. It is equivalent of 10 kilograms of potatoes if you buy them in my city of Vilnius. So if you're not some weirdo who's considering traveling to Lithuania just to buy 10 kilograms of potato, better spend your money on BlackChain instead. Pacific Drive. This is a very interesting title with mechanics you won't usually see in other games. In this driving survival adventure you face supernatural dangers on each expedition into the exclusion zone. Make your base of operations in an abandoned garage, where you'll research new parts, customize your station wagon and chart routes deeper into the zone. As you gather precious resources and investigate what's been left behind in the zone, you learn exactly what it takes to survive in this unpredictable hostile environment. All the vibes here lead to Strugatsky brothers and their roadside sweet picnic story. Many games draw inspiration from it, from legendary Stalker to a recent gem Tunguska the Visitation. And if you like the theme about some stranger things happening in this specific area, I recommend you to watch the movie named Annihilation with Natalie Portman. You won't be disappointed, I promise. Horror Tales: The Vine. Here you'll explore the forsaken capital of the beautiful archipelago. Do not let yourself be fooled by the gentle sea breeze, the Mediterranean weather or the comforting summer sun. Since the pandemic ravaged the city, it was abandoned and now only horrific nightmares await you here. And I'm serious, someone is relentlessly hunting you. You will also solve environmental riddles, physics puzzles and other similar challenges in an interconnected vertical world, even while being chased and hunted. Although be prepared, this game is filled with jump scares, so it is best played in great company with some people behind you. Also keep in mind that this game is made only by one dude. Eastshade. Nothing shady about this game, in fact it's hard to find some darker corner here. You are a traveling painter exploring the island and capturing the world on your canvas. Talk to the inhabitants to learn about their lives, make friends and help those in need. Visit cities, scale summits, unearth mysteries and discover forgotten places. This is a peaceful open-world exploration adventure where you will compose paintings anywhere in the world. You will offer them to locals to unlock secrets and gain items. Also you will have to acquire crafting materials and schematics to surmount obstacles and solve quests. People on Steam are saying that this is one of the most beautiful games they have ever played, and most only wish that it was like at least 5 times longer. Rum Gun. If you're searching for something less popular but still good enough to lose your time in, Rum Gun fulfills these criteria and offers even more. This is a game made by only one man, but by playing it you probably couldn't tell that. Also, it is super cheap and it has very positive reviews on Steam. In my opinion, the game is totally underrated. You know, you won't be playing it like Path of Exile day by day. People who left reviews on Steam have from about 4 to around 12 hours of game time on record, but it is really entertaining, and if you like action RPGs like Diablo, it is almost a must-play. I follow the guy on Facebook and I can see that Rum Gun is a passion project. The updates are quite constant, and they not only fix bugs but include tons of additional content as well. Batman: The Telltale series. Here you'll make discoveries that will shatter Bruce Wayne's world and the already fragile stability of a corrupt Gotham City. Also, your choices will determine the fate of the Batman. Just like in Telltale's The Walking Dead series, here you can choose your own adventure and dive deep into this cool visual novel. The game includes 5 episodes, and as people on Steam are saying, this is a great adaptation with interesting characters of the Batman franchise. Voice acting is nice, the script is engaging, and if you like games like that, it's almost a must-play. You know, seriously, there aren't many great visual novels you can play, especially not on this level. One nitpicky thing that may discourage you is that if you choose a non-violent path, the game will probably fail to react accordingly in several situations, so just beat everyone and enjoy the story. Endzone: A World Apart. A group of terrorists blew up nuclear power plants around the globe and plunged the world into chaos. Only a few were able to escape into underground facilities called the Endzones. Well, in the real world, if that happened, it would suck, but it wouldn't be a civilization-ending event. Anyway, this is a game. 150 years later, mankind returns to the surface and, surprise, surprise, under your command. So, poor humanity is doomed. I'm sorry, no offense. Okay, a little offense. Here, in an extremely hostile environment full of radioactivity, contaminated rain and vicious climate change, you will have to prove your worth as a leader.
Good luck with that.
So you will have to build a settlement, gather and refine resources, send expeditions to forgotten places, and much more. People on Steam are talking that the game is really fun if you like city builders, but it has complex UI system and the lore part is really weak. Also, the game is really hard. Anyway, 77% of players who try the Endzone are recommending this game for you. Northgard. This is an RTS game based on Norse mythology in which you play as a clan of Vikings vying for the control of Mysterio's newfound continent. In this simple strategy game you will find lots of victory conditions, atmospheric music, changing seasons, and, as you can see, pretty nice art design. Also, the game has a decent campaign with a pretty good story. Sadly, as I've mentioned many times before, Northgard's AI is cheating with infinite resources and manpower, meaning that developers couldn't create really good intelligence that could win against humans balance on its own. Well, I know that many strategy games do not have strong AIs, but they at least try. But you never know, maybe developers were AI geniuses, but they were afraid of accidentally making Skynet. You know, being accused of making a bad AI is one thing, but being responsible for a robot uprising that destroyed human civilization? Yeah, you know, better safe than sorry. Nevertheless, Northgard is a good RTS game for a few days, or maybe more. Maybe you will fall in love with it, you know, like tapeworm falls in love with your guts. The Wolf Among Us. This is a gritty, violent and mature thriller based on the award-winning Fables comic books. You'll discover that a brutal, bloody murder is just a beginning where every decision can have enormous consequences. And it's not only what you choose to do will affect your story, but when you choose to do it as well. You don't need to know anything about the comics this game is based on, because events in this story are set before the events seen in the first book. And this game gives you an option to beat up practically anyone you don't like. Sadly, you can't import that energy-sucking coworker of yours in this game, but hey, you can beat him up in real life instead. I mean, if you are stronger than him. If not, just smile and blame your genes. War for the Overworld. This is a strategy-based building RTS where you will excavate and build your own dungeon. Yes, you are almighty evil dungeon master or mistress. Here you can choose from over 60 rooms, spells, potions, rituals, defenses and constructs as you progress through the game. Just be warned, the game is quite fast-paced, so you'll have to build like a swift underlord you are, or else your beautiful dungeon creatures might not win against the ugly, puny heroes. In the game you can also build your own maps and campaigns, so unleash that inner creator you borrowed somewhere deep down under the bed long time ago. It's your time to shine. People on Steam are calling this game a spiritual successor of Dungeon Keeper. You know, with all the dark humor, evil creatures, and evil you. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.